What is going on, guys? Nisky here, back with another hockey talk. I know it's been a while, but today we've got a nice one. Because of COVID, we have a very weird playoff format, but I'm all for it. So today we're going to be going over both the East and the West Conference qualifiers. But for this video, I will only be doing the East. So, uh, NHL.com, they released their predictions, but you know what? We all know that there's only one prediction that really matters, and that is mine, the NiskyCap. Let's start off with the round robin. For the first seed, I've got the Lightning. Number 2, I've got your Washington Capitals. Number 3, I've got the Boston Bruins. And number 4, I got the Flyers. Um, I really think that going into this, the Lightning will feel like they have something to prove. I saw the same thing happen with UVA last in 2018 to 2019 when UVA was the first ever 1 seed to lose to a 16 seed. They came back, won the national championship. I feel like after getting swept by the Blue Jackets after setting the record for the most wins in the regular season, the Lightning are going to be in that similar boat with something to prove. Um, I think the Capitals are just a very good and consistent team. And I know a lot of people have been picking the Flyers as the number 1 team because of how hot they were going into the pause. But I think that because of how long of a break there was, they won't be able to catch that same fire again. And they aren't as good as the other 3 teams when you're taking away that big streak that they had. All right, so now going into the qualifying series, we got the number 5 Penguins versus the number 12 Montreal Canadiens. And as much as I'd love to see Pittsburgh lose this series, there's got to be no way that they lose this. I could see them losing one game if Carey Price stands on his head for Montreal, but if Pittsburgh loses this, then they don't deserve to be in the playoffs in the first place. And, well, that would be great, but there is no way that they lose this series, I think. All right, then we got the number 6 Carolina Hurricanes versus the New York Rangers, and a little bit of an upset here in the New York Rangers. I know a lot of people are picking the Rangers in this series too, and for good reason. They have lots of good star power, and with Artemi Panarin and Mika Zibanejad, and then they also have a nice little rookie defenseman there, and Adam Fox. But lastly, they finally have King Henrik, who this might be his last legitimate shot at winning a cup, and it's all because of this screwed up playoff format. But I think that if Lundqvist can do anything he can in his power to win a cup before he retires, this will be the season for the New York Rangers that they get a real shot at it. Next up, we got the other New York team, the number 7 New York Islanders versus the number 10 Florida Panthers. This is a very interesting series. The Islanders are a very strong defensive team, whereas the Florida Panthers, after paying Sergei Bobrovsky so much money, have had one of the worst defenses in the league, mainly because of their goaltending. And because of this, defense wins championships. Got to go with the Islanders. Even though they struggle to score offensively, and these are 2 very different playing styles that the teams have, they just have a much better coach, in my opinion, with Barry Trotz than the Panthers do with Joel Quenneville. Not trying to take away any credit from Quenneville. He's a very good head coach, but I personally think that the Islanders are just overall a much more complete team. Even if their offense isn't as good as a top-tier offense, they still have a fairly decent offense that can get you 2 to 3 goals per game, and then their defense is very good with their goaltending duo of Greiss and Varlamov. And lastly, for the last qualifying matchup in the East, we have what is probably going to be my favorite series to watch in this conference. Very similar to the last one with the defense and the offense. You've got the Toronto Maple Leafs, the unstoppable force, versus the Columbus Blue Jackets, the immovable object. This one was probably the toughest one to pick overall. The Maple Leafs have a lot of star power up front on offense with Matthews, Marner, Tavares, Nylander, all those guys, and then a fairly good goalie with Frederik Andersen. But their defense is so bad, I don't know how to say it. And then kind of the opposite with the Blue Jackets. They have a not great offense, but then they have a bunch of Norris caliber defensemen, and then a very good goaltending duo of Merzlikins and Korpisalo. And like I said last time, I think that defense really does win championships in this league. So I'm going to go with the Blue Jackets for the upset over the Toronto Maple Leafs. So that's been this first Eastern Conference section of today's Hockey Talk. The West picks will be linked up in the left-hand corner, and you can subscribe to the channel by hitting the button in the right-hand corner. Thanks.